Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to MADARA Cosmetics Investor Conference webinar. As always, we will start with the company's presentation, after which we will hold a questions and answers session. Please feel free to use the question box in the webinar admin panel to type in your questions, and we'll get them answered after the presentation. I would now like to turn the conference over to Mr. Uldis Iltners, the member of the management board and shareholder of MADARA Cosmetics, who will proceed with the presentation. Uldi, the floor is all yours.
Good afternoon, dear participants. Thank you for joining us today. And this is already the third MADARA Cosmetics webinar as a Nasdaq listed company. And today we will present the unaudited results of 2018, speak about important events of last year, as well as give an insight into our development activities for this year. You are welcome to send in your questions, and I will be glad to answer them at the end of the webinar. Before we start, a few words about the company. MADARA Cosmetics is the leading skincare producer in Baltics, specialized in producing of innovative EcoCert and Cosmos certified natural and organic cosmetics products. Our brands MADARA and Mossa hold leading positions in Latvia and Finland, and both brands are gaining strong and visible position also in other European markets. Innovation is an important element in our business. We are one of the most innovative organic certified cosmetics producers in Europe, actively working on new innovative solutions and ingredients in close cooperation with Latvian University. And every year we launch new interesting innovative products. We have a successful and dynamic 12 months behind us. We achieved very good results in 2018. Which continued previous growth trends. Turnover increased by 28.5%, EBITDA grows plus 11.2%, and net profit growth reaches 20% increase. The company is listed on Nasdaq Riga First North since November 2017, and we were very happy to receive the Nasdaq award for the best investor relations on First North already for the first year on Nasdaq. We also offer shareholders benefits program to all our shareholders, as well as preparing ESG reports. The growth of last year was driven by strengthening of our existing channels and acquisition of new channels, driving brand awareness in our existing markets and as well as in our new markets, and successful introduction of new products. If we look at the geographical sales breakdown, then we see that 92% of our turnover came from EU countries. This is including Latvia. The proportion of EU countries increased by 4 percentage points comparing to previous year, and this continues the trend where EU markets are increasing the proportion in total sales. Looking at the sales distribution by product categories, we can see slight proportional increase of MADARA brand. This is really slight increase because we talk about 1 percentage point. The sales division of MADARA products by product groups retained former tendencies. The most important categories are still facial care products and anti-age cosmetics products, making together 76% of MADARA product sales. And this is the same proportion that it was in previous year. Here we can see the overview of financial results. The consolidated turnover reached 9.5 million euros. The biggest markets are still Latvia and Finland, and in both markets we continued to strengthen our position last year. The gross profit margin remained the same as previous year and was 63%. Last year we had 53% higher selling expenses, which is related to our marketing activities in main markets. In second half of last year, we were increasing our digital marketing activities, launching several new activities, and had several bigger sampling campaigns. And we believe that these activities will give positive impact to further growth in next periods. We also improved our sales and marketing organization, establishing several new positions, mostly for e-commerce and e-marketing. Then what we see at the bottom line, we generated 1.5 million net profit, and EBITDA result amounts to almost 2 million euros. Now, shortly about the key events of 2018. So the number one is a very successful introduction of new products. We already were talking about this. Last spring, we launched our sunscreen product line, which turned out as really successful. And our new sunscreen products were among the best sellers last year. There are also several other successful product launches. Altogether, this was, I would say, the most successful new product launch since several years, which also contributed to the last year's growth. In 2019, we continued to develop the sunscreen line, and there in February we have launched three new products for in this category: the SPF 20 sun protection milk, the SPF 15 shimmering sunscreen, and a very interesting new product which is Self tanning cream. So all of these mentioned products are already launched and available on market. Plus, yeah, then the second one is that last year we finished the R&D for our functional hair care product line, and the hair care, the functional hair care, the first three products of the functional hair care line has been also launched in February this year, and there will follow several new product launches in this line this year. So this is also one very interesting example with cooperation with university, where we developed special ingredients from chanterelle fungi. And yeah, so this is something special that MADARA is the only company on the world who has this ingredient. And yeah, so we hope that the new sunscreen product and the new functional hair care product launches will be the same successful as the last year new product launches. Then the number 3, so very important point. Last year we started to work on developing natural certified makeup range. This is quite complex and big project, since we need to develop more than 50 new products. We need to develop our production know-how, and yeah, because until now we had only skincare products, and this is a new category for us. Makeup is the second biggest category after skincare, and actually, if we look at the natural certified makeup, then there is a very limited offer on the market. But we see that the trend is that more and more customers are demanding natural certified makeup. So we see this as a quite a big possibility to increase our brand recognition and presence on the market. So the idea is that the project is implemented. So the product launch is in autumn this year. It depends from our success in product development and production processes. And yeah, so this in general, this will be one of our main development activities for this year. I will shortly talk about this also later. Then the number 4, one of our focuses for last year was to develop our e-commerce system and to implement several IT projects. So It has been successfully, and overall we invested 280,000 euros in upgrading and improving our e-commerce system and implementing IT projects. Number 5, we have successfully launched 2 new filling and packaging lines. The first one is automated filling line for tubes, and the second one is automated filling and capping line for bottles. Both machines are already installed and in full operation, and this will significantly increase our filling and packaging throughput capacity, which was the kind of bottleneck to increase the production capacity. So now, in our opinion, we can increase the production volumes up to 2 times compared to the production volumes in 2018 without any significant investments into production. Then the number 6, we published our second ESG report. So I'm also inviting everybody to take a look on it, because besides the financial numbers you can find in our financial statements, this report gives you an insight about the company values, about the way we are working, about the environmental sustainability, social responsibility, and corporate governance. So everybody invited to take a look on it. Then number 7, about awards. We got quite many company and product awards last year. So here we have listed the main of them, but not all of them. So the main company awards are, we got the Green Excellence Award from Latvian environmental state environment office. Then we got the SME Star Award as a role model from EU Commission. Then we were also nominated as a rising star in European Small and Mid Cap Awards. Yeah, so we are also very proud. We got the Nasdaq Baltic Awards 2019 as a winner in the category Best Investor Relations on First North, and quite many product awards. So here we have listed 2 of them: the L'Officiel Beauty Award and the Export on Innovation Award 2018. Both of them were for our SPF products. So, and now I will give you an insight about the planned development activities in 2019. This year we are planning long-term investments of 1 million euros, where €500,000 will be spent to improve our production equipment and processes, and this will be mainly for the new makeup product line. So we need some additional equipment to be able to produce the new makeup products. Then the next is e-commerce and IT projects. Similarly, as last year, we are planning investment in amount of 250,000 euros, continuing to improve our e-commerce system, plus implementing several new IT projects in order to automate our processes. So, and the last position includes several investments, where the most important are a new brand shop opening in Akropole shopping mall in Riga. This most probably will happen in the first half of this year. Then the second investment is we starting to work on a technical project for our new office and production building on the land plot that company owns just over the street of our existing location. Since the existing building is fully used, so we slowly need to think about expansion possibilities. So the plan is to finish the technical project of the new building until the end of this year, and then depending from the needs, we can start the construction processes rather quickly if we have already the technical approved technical project, and several other smaller investments in different departments. So this is how the new MADARA brand shop in Akropole in Riga will look. Then I already mentioned there have been there are new product launches this year. So the products we're planning to launch in the first half of this year are already launched. So the functional hair care products, the Grow line, and the three new products in our sunscreen line. And the makeup line development. So we are actively working on this project since summer last year, and there have been new positions in laboratory, marketing and administration department established, and besides the long-term investments in production equipment that is needed to start this project, there will be also you could say short-term investments in order to launch the product, yeah, so this we are considering this as the kind of the most important new product development since 5 years or even more than it. And yeah, hoping that this will the R&D process will be finished this summer, and we will be able to launch the products in the end of this year. So our makeup range will consist of around 50 items, including primers, foundations, concealers, eye and cheek shades, lip glosses, illuminators, and other products. Actually covering kind of full range of offering full range of makeup and covering all needs and skin types. Yeah, so this was from my side for today. So, and then we can switch to the questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Uldi, for a very interesting presentation. Let's proceed with the Q&A session now. The first question that we have received. According to MADARA Cosmetics annual report, company has cash in amount of 3.4 million euro. For comparison, in 2017 it was 4 million euro. Considering your current turnover and bank borrowings, it is a very big sum of money which is not working in the interests of the company. Wouldn't it be wiser to invest this money, pay back loans, or pay it out in dividends? Uldi?
Thank you. And question consists of several parts. So firstly, during our IPO, we clearly communicated that raised money will be used to finance the next 3 years development activities, and this is the plan we follow. We have, in general, long-term focus, and in our opinion, from a long-term perspective, it is okay to have some free resources to finance the development activities at the right time. Considering that we have now developing the makeup range and working on the new on the technical project of the new office and production building. So I believe that we will need and effectively use these free resources in future years, in coming years. There was also a question why we do not use the free resources to pay back the loans. So in 2018, the interest of the existing loans was around 20,000 euros, and for this year the interest will be even less. So in our opinion, this amount is not significant, and to pay back the existing loans, because they are at quite good conditions. So definitely we are not considering to take new loans currently, but we would like to keep the existing loans. Yeah, then there was also a question about dividends. So company is paying dividends, and management is planning to recommend to pay dividends from the profits of 2018 at a level of previous years, which would be around 25% of the profits. However, the management is not taking decisions about paying dividends. So this is in competence of annual general shareholders meeting. However, as far as it's in our competence, we will recommend to continue to pay dividends.
Thank you. The next question comes from an investor who has shared his view on the growing importance of the ESG reports, and also thanks MADARA for creating and publishing such reports for the interests of investors. And there are two questions in relation to ESG, and let's take them one by one. The first one, have you received any feedback and reactions to your ESG reports? How has it been received?
Yeah, the reaction and feedback is of course positive, because it very openly speaks about our values and our activities in environmental sustainability, social responsibility, corporate governance. However, this is kind of also for Nasdaq. This is kind of a pilot project to implement the ESG reporting in broader scale, and we participate also in the Nasdaq ESG pilot program. So I would say that probably we didn't have any material profits from this ESG report, but we see that for many investors and also customers, it is important to see what are the company values and how sustainable and responsible is the company. So overall, we are very happy. We started the ESG reporting and are planning to continue this.
Thank you. Second part of the question, are you exploring a possibility of an ESG score by an external reviewer in the future?
As I mentioned, so it's currently kind of a pilot program, and it's there are actually not that many companies that are preparing ESG reports, and also the auditors. If we would ask our auditors if they have ready methods how they can audit our ESG report, most probably they will say that they don't have them yet. However, I believe that in future the ESG reports will become kind of similar importance than the financial statements, and when the ESG reporting will get more popular, then most probably also the auditors will be able to offer audits for the ESG reports.
Thank you. Although the financials are strong and there is a rapid growth of the company, there's still a question on the table. What do you currently see as the main obstacle for further growth of the company? Are there any limitations or bottlenecks?
Yeah, in our opinion, we have currently all kind of resources to continue to grow. The market for natural and organic cosmetics globally and in Europe is growing, so it is a very positive environment to work. And we actually don't see any significant limitations or bottlenecks. Of course, we are still very small company compared to the market size, and we see that also big houses like L'Oreal are entering this segment by acquiring organic certified producers and creating certified lines within their existing brands. So this means that most probably the competition will not decrease, but most probably increase, and also the main big houses and big players will start to be more active in this field. Yeah. So, but overall, we feel comfortable with the current situation, and are expecting further growth. Thank you.
Thank you. How are you coping with the tightening labor market situation in Latvia? Is it getting harder to recruit and hold on to employees? Judging by the figures of the financial report, the personnel cost has gone up quite significantly in 2018. So has the number of employees, but still.
Yeah, I think of course we are in the we experience the Latvian labor market situation, and yeah, we see that it's rather yeah, it's for some positions there are some difficulties to get employees. However, the company has quite a good recognition in Latvia, and so also the employee turnover rate is rather small. So all in all, I would say we are in a kind of good situation, probably compared to other companies in our segment. We also see that that many Latvians that have lived for years abroad, they are returning, and so this is also a resource which we are trying to use. And yeah, so overall, I would say we do not experience huge difficulties, and the labor market situation won't kind of make us any will not limit our further growth. Thank you.
Could you please elaborate a bit on the investment strategy for further years? Obviously, a lot of investing into research and development, but what about investments into tangible capital like machinery, equipment, further development of the factory, etc.? Although you briefly covered this already during the presentation, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, actually, I think I already covered this, and as I mentioned, so in the tangible assets, this year we are planning to invest €500,000, and yeah, and probably so also in next years there might be some improvements in production, and then of course if there will be decision to start the construction of the new office and production building, then this will be a bigger investment, which will be announced also to all our investors before. Yeah.
Thank you. In the annual report, it is mentioned that the research and development costs have been €77,000 in 2018. What does this measure include? And there, the question is, does it include personal costs in it?
It does not include personal costs. these 77,000 euros are mainly for preparing the samples, doing the different kind of tests, doing the test productions. It's also important to mention that part of our R&D activities are done at the competence centers, and so they are not in this, not on our financial statements. Also, this year we our R&D projects were approved for the next competence center programs. So we will participate in pharmaceutical and biotech competence center, and in competence center which could be translated like smart materials. So in these both competence centers we will work on our R&D projects for next 2 years and get state support for these activities. Thank you.
And currently the last question that we have here, how big is the expected growth of sales, general and administrative costs for 2019 if compared to 2018?
So currently we are planning that the selling expenses and administration costs will be at the same level. However, there will be an impact from the makeup project, which is already generating costs, and these will be considered as sales costs. So I would say if we without the makeup project development costs, the planned selling expenses and administration costs are planned at the same level as last year. I mean, proportionally to the turnover. Thank you.
Thank you. We have successfully answered all the questions sent in from the investors, so we're ready to wrap the webinar up. Thank you, Uldi, for the presentation. Thank you for answers given. Participants, thank you for joining. Thank you for the interesting questions. As always, we are recording this webinar, and the recording will be available soon in company's announcements and on Nasdaq Baltic YouTube channel. Thank you again. See you in the next webinar.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.